Hey, welcome to Black Lotus, where we talk about all things strange and unusual. And today we are going to be talking about blessed and cursed stones throughout the world. You may know some of them you may not. But anyway, before we get into that, I want to talk about. I want to talk to you, the viewer. If this is your first time here, just do yourself a favor and take a look at some of our other videos. We've got over 100 of them. And we talk about everything from aliens to UFOs to cryptids to ghosts to conspiracy theories to whatever. Anything weird, basically. So, yeah, definitely check it out. And when you do, don't forget to like our videos and subscribe to us. And don't forget to hit that little bell when you do. And that way you're going to be notified every time we do upload a new episode. Also want to remind you that we have a podcast over at PodBean, and we are also on Spotify and iHeartRadio, and it is called the Paranormal News Network. And what we do is we focus on the latest in paranormal news, and we also have really interesting people on there to interview who are all involved with the paranormal world in some facet or another. And one more thing, I just want to mention that we have a group over at Facebook, and it's called the Black Lotus Discussion Group. And there we talk about all the things that we talk about here. And it's really a great bunch of people. We have some experts in the paranormal there, and some people are experts in ufology. We have experts in on cryptids and so on and so forth. And so definitely check us out over there. And I'll drop a link in the description for that. But anyway, so Ralph, let's get into this today.
This is an interesting subject.
The
Koh-i-Noor.
Koh-i-Noor, that's it. Yeah.
It's not an easy name. It's Kohinnoor. So that's why it's like whoa. It's just a small diamond. It's only 105.6 carats.
Oh my God.
It is named the Mountain of Light, and throughout history, the gems has traded hands from among many people, including the Hindu, Mongolian, Persian, Afghan, and Sikh rulers who fought bloody battles to get a hold of this diamond. Excuse me. According to the Hindu folklore, the description Koh-i-Noor means he who owns this diamond will own the world, but will also know its misfortunes. Only God or women can wear it with impunity. The diamond was acquired by the British in about 1849, and it went into display on the Great Exhibition in London. But the lackluster shine of it didn't impress the viewers, so Prince Albert, had a husband of Queen Victoria, ordered it to be recut into an oval brilliance of the coaster diamonds. To heed this legend, the diamond has since only been worn by women, including Queen Alexandra of Denmark, Queen Mary of Teck, and the late Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, wife of King George VI.
So, as I understand it, the Koh-i-Noor passed through all these hands, and every male that wore it died.
Right, died, usually in bloody battle, trying to receive it. Anytime it's been worn, it's also one of the people who, I forget who his name was, but he wore it on his arm as a shield, for protection. Mm-hmm. It didn't help him very much.
Yeah.
He ended up dead, just like everybody else who's owned it, who's been a male.
Yeah. So how long has it been since the British have had it?
Since 1830.
Oh, I see. Okay. Huh.
I believe.
I think it's interesting that it's only been worn by a few people in the royalty.
1849, excuse me. I had to recheck my notes there.
So, not being a Muslim, I'm not very knowledgeable about Islamic traditions, but while reading some research about this episode, I learned something that I found pretty interesting, and that is the Black Stone of Mecca. Let me show you a picture of this real quick. The Black Stone is a rock that's set into the eastern corner of the Kaaba, the ancient building in the center of the Grand Mosque in Mecca. And it is revered by Muslims as an Islamic relic, which, according to Islamic tradition dates back to the time of Adam and Eve. They say that the black stone was thrown down from Allah in heaven to mark forgiveness for mankind's sins, and it marks the center of the earth. It was also, the tradition also states that Allah wanted to show Adam and Eve where to build an altar, which apparently became the first temple on earth. And I'm not so sure about that because, Buddhist temples, I think, predate that. But, it's the first temple maybe in Islam. Possibly. I don't know for sure. The Muslims believe that the stone was originally pure white, but has since turned black because of all the sins of the people who have touched it. But millions of millions of Muslims travel to Mecca in Saudi Arabia every year. And in a single day, Mecca is capable of attracting over 2 million Muslim followers for the annual Hajj pilgrimage, which is considered one of the five pillars of Islam. So during the ritual of Hajj, pilgrims must walk around the Kaaba 7 times in a counterclockwise direction, a ceremonial practice that has been going on since for about 14 centuries. The Kaaba measures 50 feet high, 35 feet wide, and 40 feet long. It is covered in a black silk cloth known as the kiswa, and it's decorated with gold embroidered calligraphy. And on the south side of the building is a gold door, and inside the floor is made of marble and limestone and has 3 pillars in it. Muslims believe the Prophet Muhammad once kissed the stone during the mandatory once-in-a-lifetime, at least, trip to Kaaba. And they try to kiss the black stone if possible. If they're unable to, though, they simply point to it every time they pass the 7-circle journey around the Kaaba. Each time pilgrims pass the black stone, they recite a prayer from the Quran, and it goes, "In the name of God, and God is supreme." Non-Muslims, though, are strictly forbidden from touching it. But the thing is that they don't really know what it is. A lot of people speculated that it might be a meteorite, but nobody really knows because no scientific studies have been allowed on the stone, and so it's only possible to speculate what it could be. Theories have ranged from the stone being basalt, agate, or obsidian rock, even to an alien artifact. So yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. I had never heard of this before.
No, I hadn't heard about it either. So it was very interesting to hear something different like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, that falls under the categories of blessed stones, I guess. But
well, you want to talk about another cursed stone?
Yeah, let's talk about the Hope Diamond.
The Hope Diamond. That's one everybody's heard of, but most people don't know the little history about it. The Hope Diamond, that one's only 45.52 carats. It's small compared to the other one. It was first sold to Louis the 14th of France in 1668, who later had the stone recut and set in a gold by the court jeweler in 1792. Louis the 16th and Queen and Marie Antoinette, I was cleaning her, Marie Antoinette attempted to free France with it, and their escape was foiled, and they ended up getting the guillotine in 1793. Mm-hmm. So the diamond's had some bloody history to it already. The diamond is believed to have been owned by King George IV of England, but was sold after his death in 1830 to help settle his enormous debts. They sold through the private channels to a purchase by Henry Philip Hope, and that's where it got its name. The stone was then brought back by a London dealer who quickly sold it to Joseph Franklin, the son of New York City, who retained the diamond until they had to sell it to cover their debts in 1909. Pierre Cartier bought the Hope Diamond and sold it to Evelyn Walsh McLean on the American mining heiress and socialite. And McLean had all kinds of misfortunes. Her son died. She had a car accident. Her daughter died of a drug overdose. Her husband died in a sanitarium. And the family was forced to sell their newspaper. And of course, after McLean's death of pneumonia in 1947, someone had a purchase named Harry Winston purchased all the jewelry to cover the deaths of his debt.
Wow.
So everybody who gets this ends up selling it again to pay for all their debt. It's actually called the Debt Diamond also as a nickname. Yeah. Winston actually donated the diamond in 1958, which is worth $250 million to the Smithsonian Institute, where it is now. That's still to this day. I don't know. I don't think I'd want to own it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, thanks. I thought I heard a rumor once that it was actually on the Titanic. I don't know if that's true or not. Did you come across that?
I did not see anything about that when I was doing my research.
So, I have heard a lot about the crystal skulls over my lifetime. And there's these skulls that are hard stone carvings made of clear or like milky white quartz. The most famous one is by, I believe his name is Mitchell Hitchens, and that's the one I'm showing you now. And anyway, so they're claimed to be pre-Columbian Mesoamerican artifacts by their alleged finders. However, these claims have been refuted for all the specimens made available for scientific studies. The results of these studies demonstrated that those examined were manufactured actually in the mid-19th century or even later, almost certainly in Europe during a time when interest in ancient cultures was abundant. The skulls appear to have been crafted in Germany, quite likely at workshops in the town of, I'm going to mess up this name, Idar Oberstein, I guess it is, which was renowned for crafting objects made from the imported Brazilian quartz in the late 19th century. Despite some claims presented in an assortment of popularizing literature, legends of crystal skulls with mystical powers do not figure in genuine Mesoamerican or other Native American mythologies and spiritual accounts. There is a belief that there are 13 skulls, and the 13 skulls legend is that at a pivotal time in humanity's history, the 13 skulls will be reunited to awaken a new era, transforming from the old paradigm into the new world. And the 13th skull has never been found. And so what they're saying here is that once the 13 skulls reunite, there will be world peace. Well, I think that that's part of the legend. We will probably never have world peace, and that's why the 13th skull will never be found.
It's in the Sphinx.
Yeah. The skulls, though, are often claimed to exhibit paranormal phenomenon by some members of the New Age movement, healing and etc. But, I think that this is a perfect example of how people can imbue things with certain powers just by believing in them.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I think that that's the case with all curses and blessings, But, yeah, I would like to see world peace, but I doubt it's ever going to happen. But you have a very interesting one here.
Yeah, the Deli purple sapphire. Now, first of all, I want to say that it's not really a sapphire, but it's an amethyst, which is a type of violet-hued quartz. It was just misidentified by the original people who got it. Pretty color purple.
It is beautiful.
It's rumored to have been stolen by the British soldiers from the Temple of Indra during the Indian Mutiny of 1857, and was brought to England by Colonel W. Ferris, whose family was then supposed to suffer many financial and health woes. He thought the stone was cursed. Well, his fears were confirmed when he lent the stone to a friend of the family who inexplicably committed suicide. The stone was given to Edward Heron Allen, a scientist and a writer in 1890, who claimed to have started having bad luck immediately after receiving it. He gave the amethyst away to friends who were also struck with misfortune and quickly returned the gift back to him. In a bid to neutralize the power of the curse, Heron Allen had it bound with silver rings fashioned in a double-headed snake. He also attached 2 amethyst scarab beetles and inscribed the ring with symbols of the zodiac. He warned that the Deli purple sapphire is accursed and is stained with the blood and the dishonor of everyone who has ever owned it. Weary of the alleged powers, he kept it locked away in 7 boxes and surrounded by good luck charms. In 1902, he reluctantly agreed to lend the stone to a friend. The friend immediately beset by a series of unlucky events, and he returned the gem to him, who, when he got the stone back, it immediately started having bad luck with him again. He cast the stone into the canal, and unfortunately, somebody found the stone, brought it to a jeweler. The jeweler recognized the stone and gave it back to him. Of course, out of kindness, but he didn't realize that it was trying to get away from him. But anyhow, once again, he lent it out, and this time of his more unfortunate recipients, there was a professional singer who never sang again after wearing the cursed gem. It was deposited in a safe at the bank, and it was instructions of not to be opened until after his death. His daughter donated the amethyst to the London's Natural Museum in 1943. Along with the stone, she gave the letter with her father wrote, cautioning future owners against directly handling it.
Like you said, though, it's beautiful.
It is beautiful. Just, just a little deadly.
I wonder why they call it the Deli Sapphire when it's actually an amethyst.
Because the people who first originally found it misidentified it.
Oh, I see. Yeah. But, one thing that occurred to me when we were going through this stuff is that the people who originally cut these stones, like the Deli Sapphire,
right?
I can never say that other Koh-i-Noor.
Koh-i-Noor.
Oh, Koh-i-Noor. Yeah. I wonder if they had any bad luck when they handled it. If especially with the Koh-i-Noor, considering, most jewelers back then were men.
Right.
And so it was obviously a man who cut this thing in the first place. And if it can't be handled by a male.
What if he had just misfortune too?
Yeah, I wonder about that kind of stuff, But
yeah, interesting stuff.
But anyway, so what do you say we get out of here for the day?
Sounds good.
Thanks a lot for watching, folks. And until next time, keep thinking and question everything.